There we are. All right. Well, looks like the president is just jumping in here. Boss. Let me go see if that's true here.
Inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. President Trump tonight on Truth Social. About 12, 13 minutes ago, he put that out.
Yeah, all right. So, hey, how we doing, Leon?
Oh, I could be better.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that our president, we have a president now who he's addressing what happened today. I have a Charlie Kirk cap that I got. I don't know if anyone remembers when that whole, it was a fundraising effort for Turning Point and during the campaign. And so I got my cap. So I'm wearing that tonight.
I gotta tell you, uh, it was a good week. Like, I had been having a very good week. A couple of really good business plans came together. Me and Eli just wrapped up 2 days of fun in Bismarck. Uh, the day was going great,
Yeah.
and then this happened. I just, and it has sparked, and we can talk about this later, but it has sparked among my own friend group some really, really hard conversations about what we do to protect ourselves against the radical left, because it's a problem. It is
Yeah.
a problem now. I mean, I believe that it has always been a problem, and I will read you. I'll protect their names, but like a couple of people texting me. My phone has been blowing up all day.
Mine too. Ever since this broke and ever since it happened, my phone. Of course, you and me and Jamie, a lot of we're plugged in. This is what
Yeah,
we do, right? So
yeah,
yeah, my phone's been going crazy. Several different chat groups I'm in.
yeah.
You
I'm not in
know,
a
uh,
group, but
what's that?
I am not in chat groups. I take myself out of them because my phone. Oh my god! But
Yeah,
I have friends in Oregon texting me that I hadn't heard from in 5, 6 years. I gotta be careful with those guys, but
I'm
it,
telling you, what we saw today, as far as I'm concerned, other than the tragedy and the killing for no reason, this we are in a war. And how many times have I've said this on this show. We're not just in a difference of opinion. We are in a war in this country between two ideologies, and we just saw it spill out again yet today, and tragically, really. The only thing I can take grace in, and you and I talked about this brief on the phone, is that we do know that Charlie had a belief in God and was a devout Christian, as I am, and I fail at it each and every day, and even when we're doing this show sometimes. But we have that deep belief, and I guess my only comfort there is to know that I can't say it for sure because I don't know, but I imagine he was welcomed into the arms of God today. That's the only thing I can think of.
well done, good and faithful servant. That's what.
Yep, yep. And of course, the questions are: is why it happened? Why did God let this happen? Why
I
God
told
didn't let it happen?
I, me and my wife, we had this conversation when I got back, and I'm at a loss for words. But hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Yep.
So yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words, but I don't believe, like, we had this conversation. Me and my wife, she is utterly distraught, and she was asking me about, why did he save Donald Trump? Because I believe that was divine intervention. I believe what we saw play out today was meant for Donald Trump. I believe that they wanted it live, they wanted it streaming, and they wanted it gory.
Yeah.
And I think that he is our Samson, flawed man, flawed.
Very
Very
flawed.
flawed. Just like Samson, God uses broken men like me, like Trump, like Clay, to do extraordinary things, and he was the guy that we needed at that time.
Yeah.
And Charlie Kirk, man, this is evil. We
Oh,
can't blame God for not acting, but we can blame evil for being
absolutely.
evil and stand up to it. Like, I'm not posting on any of my social media today outside of what I already posted. I'm only post today, but tomorrow I'm gonna post one of my scriptures that me and Eli talk about the full armor of God.
Yes. Well, that's right here.
Yeah,
Ephesians.
yep,
I'm wearing that shirt tonight, and I mean, that was the first thing that come to my mind when that happened in Butler. In
yep.
fact, I made the T-shirts not so much to make a profit on them, but I thought that'd be a great one for people to see. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but I do
I
believe
need
that
one of
we
those.
had divine interaction right there on that day in Pennsylvania.
I'm gonna need one of those.
We
We'll
can,
talk.
we can get we'll get you one of them, bud.
Good deal.
Super short, right? Super short, stout. Okay.
Too, too- it's too soon.
That's
You
too
soon.
soon. Okay.
I mean, so can I just kind of I put this in the chat.
Yes.
One of the texts that I received today was from my good friend. He wants me to kind of keep it word of mouth, but he's concerned. He's concerned, and the things that I do every day. Even our good friend Jamie today, when we had a conversation, he's like he's going to change some things, and these are things that I do every day. Things that I'm going to talk about on my podcast, Blackbeard Logic. But these are just the things that I have been doing like little by little for like 10 years.
Right.
But we need to be resilient. We cannot cower. We have to be like one of the things that I love about Charlie Kirk is the fact that he's not a Marine. He's not a hard charging badass Navy SEAL. He's not one of those guys. But the
Right.
guy is fearless. He's a warrior, and he stands up. He goes into the lion's den and he fights. With his weapon of choice is debate. He has an analytical mind that breaks down data and feeds it back to you. And not to mention the fact that the thing that America is founded on is debate in the town square, open debate, so we don't go to the second option, which is the Second Amendment option,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the very thing that he is a champion of is the very thing that the left has been trying to tear down for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they took out a lion today. I don't think that I think that him as a martyr, especially his mindset and what he was going for. I don't think that that's dead. I
I don't
don't.
think so either.
I think in one evil action, they woke us up. I saw a Greg Gutfield drop the F bomb on Fox, and he's like, basically, what he said was, you think that you have us basically backpedaling, or you think that you caught us sleeping or something to that effect. But in truth, you woke us the fuck up.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
Well,
Excuse my French.
I do believe that, remember I mentioned this when we were on the phone. I go, they think they've silenced him. They haven't silenced. They might have silenced his voice, but his ideas and his whole mission carries on. I
Yep.
do believe. I think Turning Point USA will now become one of the biggest movements just behind MAGA. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was a movement too. Whether anyone wants to, make America great, which is a great slogan, right? And one I can get behind. But that was a movement. I think you're going to see this happen. I think they're going to go hand in hand. And right now, yeah, they made a martyr. But I tell you what, I'm going to go to some of these comments because people have been commenting all day, really. But hey, Brian, good to see you. Tom, Tom's joining us again here. Good to have Tom Donaldson with us. Waylon, Eric, Trampus actually stopped here. Actually, when he left for today, because I was giving him some stuff for an event this weekend, I walked in on this and I didn't know what happened. I caught Jack Prosopic just talking about it, and I didn't. It's like something happened, and then boom, after the commercial break, there it comes. So yeah, it was quite shocking for me to hear it, especially when I just got done watching the guy,
Yep.
And then you got, hey, Dan, good to have you on here. Good to have Lynette. She says, I agree. It was such a beautiful day. Yeah, it really was. You're talking. It was a good week. It was a good day.
Yeah.
And then this happens. Lynette says, so now's the time to start fighting back. But how? I'm not for shooting people in the neck. And I guess I answer that with this. We need to be vigilant, but I've always said that. Fight, yes. How do we fight back? Well, I don't know. Charlie Kirk gave us a pretty good example, didn't he?
Mm.
Now, what would have saved Charlie? Nothing, honestly. I mean, Charlie was out there. I mean, he didn't even have protective quote glass up there, ballistic glass.
Yeah.
He just got up there with no fear.
What
And
would that say, though? I believe the reason he did not have ballistic glass and armed security all over the place is because he didn't want that type of debate.
Right.
He wanted the ambiance as you have an opinion. Come up here, let's talk about it.
Well, and if you disagreed with him, he welcomed you. You were first. Come on up.
Yep. Yep.
And let's remember, this didn't happen from the crowd of the people that were basically coming up to the mic. Where this took place, we don't know yet. Obviously, an elevated position, and they're right now I've heard reports 200 plus yards. I don't think they really know because they don't really know where it come from yet. From what I know, because I've heard all the speculation, but that don't mean that it's fact. You know what I mean?
I'm friends with a couple of special forces guys.
Okay.
Yeah, they like I and I know Chafe is his heart's in the right place. I got it, you know. But the folks that I've been talking to, and I feel this way too. When I saw the first video, I heard it, I saw him, I said rifle.
Yep.
People were saying, Chafe had said, no, it was closer, it was a handgun, and I'm like, nope, I can see it. And it's like I'm friends with this black sniper. I'm not going to say his name, but he is. And one of these days, I'm going to have him on. He is a total BA man. But he, even him, he was like, yeah, that is from elevated position. That's from a good distance out, and that was an assassination. That's what he said.
That
And
was
and if he would allow me, like I'll talk to him. If he will allow me to just kind of scribble out his name, I'll post him when he sent it to me. I want to say tweet, but it wasn't a tweet. A
yeah.
text. But yeah, it's man. And then like we got two people that have been caught and released, and I call them Patsy number one and Patsy number two, and now they're gonna work on plan. There is a lot going on here. Like, I don't believe our government. I just don't. But
Yep.
like, we've been lied to so many times, and I just don't believe the official narrative of anything. And unless they got this guy like on video, I'm just probably not going to believe it. I think that this is a tragic thing. We can learn from it 100%. And like Lynette says, what do we do? I remember being in Bismarck, and I'm speaking, and I've always been kind of a boisterous type of guy, and I did not like BLM, nothing they stood for. I think we had not Armstrong, but Kramer and Hovind and a couple of other folks, big wigs there, and some of them were worried about me speaking because there was an element of Black Lives Matter there. And I'm like, my mindset was like Steve Dace, circa 2 election cycles ago, where he's like, let's burn it down, salt the earth, let's do this thing. And that's where my headspace was. And I did get accosted, but I will speak anywhere because I'm not afraid. Charlie was not afraid. We cannot be afraid, and we have to like my message. My message is I'm never going to water it down. I'm never going to be demure for I don't know weak ears. I'm going to be who I am, and to whatever mission that I believe that God has called me to. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what we do to fight back. Like we don't get out in the streets and start shooting, and that's what they do. What I do is I protect mine, I protect my message, and I trumpet Christ everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I try, and I'm flawed. You know that.
Well, and I think that's where you guys like same thing. I've spoke all over the Dakotas in different places. Crowds as little as 20, crowds over 1,000. Whatever. and I never had fear. I mean, there's always that element out there, I suppose. Of course, you and I are small potatoes compared to the presence Charlie Kirk had.
When it- Yep.
But I guarantee you that we have our haters out there, Leon. I guarantee it. And I guess I never feared that. I guess I figured if it was meant to happen, it was gonna. But I figured that I had that armor that we speak of in Ephesians, and
Yep.
I've never feared it. What happened? Yeah, I feel. You know what? I feel sorry for the young family. Charlie Kirk's wife has two young children. Now they have no father, no husband. He was a son. He was probably an uncle, a sibling. I mean, a lot of things were affected today because of this evil, because of the evil of sin. That's why they exist today as evil, and what we've seen. And this wasn't supposed to be. I mean, or I don't know. I've got a lot of feelings in my head right now as to what happened here. Mad, anger, sadness, even forgiveness. Surprisingly, but I can tell you right now,
I'm
I,
not there yet.
I've seen. Well, I don't forgive the shooter, but we can get back. We can get to. You know what I'm probably talking about, but I can tell you right now, there's going to be a time that words don't work, and the sword has to be drawn. And what we've seen today, and we're getting close. As far as what could Charlie have done, again, nothing. When I watched that video, especially the one that came out later, that from somebody that was videoing right there in the front row, I've seen that look before when something gets hit because I'm a hunter. Any of us listening tonight that hunts and shoots, we've all seen that reaction, haven't we?
Mm.
And when I saw that one, I was like, oh, this ain't good. They said that he, was pronounced dead at the hospital. I think he died there on the stage. They did everything they could, but I think it was instant. I truly do.
100%. Nobody could tote that.
No, no. If by some miracle, and miracles happen, we've seen them. I don't know what he would have come out looking like or being like, if at all. But his job, evidently, we don't understand it, is done. I think you're going to see. I don't want to call him a martyr, but he's not going to be forgotten, and I think it's going to be a rally to so many in that age group because that's what I'm noticing, Leon. The people that are in their 20s and 30s they're probably taking this worse than anybody. I turned 51, and someone mentioned the 17th is Constitution Day. Well, guess what? That's my birthday, and I don't think that's by coincidence that my birthday falls on Constitution Day. And I think we need to pick up this torch now and keep running towards freedom, keep running towards that mission. We can't back down, can't back down, can't let them win. And where it goes, it could go anywhere at this point.
Your birthday is the 17th of this month.
It is, yeah,
Eli's is the 18th.
really,
Yeah.
wow, yeah. I always thought it was cool that I was born on Constitution Day. I just thought that was the coolest thing because I've always had a love for this country and the Constitution, and I just always found that interesting. But all right, Keith's a good friend of mine, a combat veteran. He definitely died. He says they're damn close to it. I agree instantly. I watched that several times. By the way, we're not going to show it tonight. I don't think it needs to be shown. And I have no doubt that, yeah, if it wasn't instantly, it was really close because I've seen that when I've shot deer when I'm out hunting. It was the same reaction. I mean, it was just done. He was done. I'm sure you've seen it, Leon.
Yeah, we talked about it. And my wife, when so I'm driving back from Bismarck, and so I'm pulling over like every rest stop because my phone is blowing up,
Right.
and my wife is like, pray for Charlie, uh, yada yada yada, and I didn't say it, eh, but yeah, I'm like, oh no, no, this is bad. And I told you, my son was in the truck. I had to turn the radio off because we listened to Charlie Kirk. He sees this guy every single day. My 7-year-old was saying things that, if my phone was listening, would have me in front of the CIA man. I mean, the
Yep.
FBI. I mean, he just went to pieces. And And that's again, this guy Charlie had he had a special touch about him that reached the younger generation, the folks that we needed, the alpha generation. Like everyone is talking
Well,
about, the younger generation and getting these old people out of politics. And Charlie kind of spearheaded that. And he's getting these young folks to open their minds and to think about different dynamics of this country and where it's going, where it's been, why we are where we are. And like one of the most pertinent things I ever heard him say was, um, like these politicians don't want us to be doing great, doing good, because and having happy families and that because people with happy families and they're satisfied and the country's running good and the crime is down and all of that stuff, that's not good for power.
no,
You know,
no,
they need you to need them, and no truer words were ever spoken. I say that not so eloquently, like
no,
every day.
absolutely. If you can't have if you're struggling every day, I mean, and you can't make ends meet, and I mean, look at how many of that group in that 20 to 30 year range. And Charlie Kirk was born in 1993, the year I graduated high school, by the way. So he was the younger crowd. I mean, I'm 21 years older than this guy, and he's reaching that generation that I didn't think was reachable, and he was making a lot of headway. But I think it's because they don't see the American dream as something that's attainable anymore. I mean, I don't know how many 20 to, well, let's just say 24 to 32, which is that getting out of college, just looking for a job, finding their first job. They're starting to build their life, and they really don't believe that they're going to be able to even own a house.
Right?
Imagine that. They don't talk about marriage, and I think that's why you see the birth rate has plummeted for a lot of reasons because they don't want to bring kids in the world because they can't afford them. Um, when you start breaking up family units, when you start having a population that has one, maybe two children, if that, and keeping them enslaved essentially, that's a bad formula. And I think that's what a lot of them are looking at. Then comes Charlie Kirk and tells them it don't have to be this way.
Socialism looks mighty good to that demographic that you were just describing. When you are like again, you're looking at housing costs, the cost of purchasing that first home, and you're a young guy, and you're like, all right, I like Janine over there. Let me see what I can, pull together. I got
Right.
this degree. I got these promising leads, yada yada yada. How long is it going to take me to accomplish what I need to? And then once you do that cost benefit analysis and you break down all the data, you're like, oh wow, I better not even approach her now.
Right.
I can't do it. It's and then socialism looks good. Price controls look good. Rent controls look good to
Yeah.
you. A dedicated government issued income, a stipend, starts to look good to
That
that
looks
younger demographic.
looks great, don't it? When you're not having to pay for it.
Yeah. And then
And
you got to think about this younger generation has basically been socialized their entire life, which is
yeah,
why they get in there in the high schools and the colleges and that sort of thing because they know that these guys they've been socialized their whole. Mommy and daddy have been paying for this, that, and the other thing. They can get grants and deferred loans for everything else that they want.
hmm
So think of
well, and oh, we got someone calling me to. Thanks for listening. Right? I see my phone is ringing, but yeah, I can tell you right now that that generation they are indoctrinated. I know that's why you homeschool, which is if I had kids now, starting out, I would not send them to the public government schools. I would be homeschooling them. Luckily, I got one that's graduated out already. The other one's not far behind. We're going to be good. And as far as a lot of reasons why men and women aren't getting married, well, there's a social breakdown in morality. That's one. But they were taught by their hippie grandparents and parents from the 60s and 70s that, oh, power for to the women and men are suppressive. And no, open up your Bible, read the scriptures.
Yep.
You'll understand that it's a partnership, that it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, God didn't give us that gift of marriage because it was horrible. He gave us the gift of marriage because it was holy and sacred. And that's what the whole lesbian and gays and all that thing was about, because that destroys that family unit and marriage in general. Marriage was created in the eyes of God in the church, not by government.
100%. And you want to know something? You want to research something that's going to really cook your noodle? Research just not now, but what happened in 1973. That will
Okay.
open your eyes. Two things happened in very close proximity. They pulled the draft and Roe versus Wade.
There you go.
And so men no longer had that drive. You didn't need to have a purpose now. Your purpose on this earth is to provide and protect. And they're saying, no, go study, French drawings and whatever, and daffodils and whatever. We don't need you to sign up for service to something outside of yourself, something better than yourself, greater than you, this abstract vision that is America. No, don't even worry about that. Focus on you. What are you feeling? And then the soy boys came. And then with Roe versus Wade, and then shortly after that, no fault divorce, and this and like the family unit was under withering fire, and everyone was blind to it. And I'll tell you this: you were talking about us homeschooling. I was in Home Depot 3 days ago. I I saw a guy, a little African guy. I didn't recognize him at first, but he recognized me for some real weird reason. I hadn't seen him in like 25 some odd years. No, just since 1998, I think. I worked at KSI. It was the sister company of Federal Beef here.
Okay.
So we kind of went on our life tracks. He's got 4 boys, and I was telling him about my kids and everything, and then I asked him about his kids, and he's like, "I have 4 sons. They're no good, no good." And I said, "What do you mean? The schools, they ruined my boys. They're no good, no good." And I'm like, "We homeschool," and he like got on his knees. He was like, "You did it right. You did it right." And I'm just like looking at him, and like I'm not, dude. I am not a smart guy. I am not like some savant or anything. I know what I feel, and when I feel something is off, especially when it comes to my kids, yeah, I'm stepping right in there. And more of us need to do that thing, because in the school systems, we got purple-haired lesbians teaching our kids. We have pedophile men teaching our kids, and every day you could see that somebody else is being arrested, someone else is being investigated. You look at their social media; it's all this weird stuff. That should open some eyes.
Oh,
That
well,
that
look
should.
at look at North Dakota's people in power, government, positions, and we just saw another one. Really? I mean, it's here. And don't think, well, I live close to the Lemon, South Dakota area, so that's where the closest school would be, even though we live in North Dakota. Yeah, Lemon's not immune. I've been able to fight those battles and even get things thrown out because of, I don't know, I usually I fire people when they don't do their jobs to the what my satisfaction is, but you don't get to do that there. And they don't check things out. They do things the easy way. They do it because they've always done it that way, and they didn't look at it. Oh, this curriculum. Well, I didn't know it. Didn't you review it? Well, no, they've always used it. That's an excuse. You failed. But they don't hear that anymore.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been lucky. I've been able to fight some of this off, but it's coming. I watch that school. It's going to get worse, especially with the younger people that are coming in there to be teachers, It's going to get worse. And they're using that school as a stepping stone, and then they leave. I see the people moving into our area, which we live fairly remotely on.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see these people seep into our areas now too, which is not a good. I don't welcome these people. I don't want any new people like that here, because they're not here to embrace what we do. They're here to change our way of life. They're like little viruses coming in, and they will spread.
Don't
So
get
hey,
me started on that.
let's go over a few of these comments. Trevor Shine, he says, hey, he goes, come out all across America. 17th is Constitution Day, protest day. We will stand for this no more. Share, share, share. Eric Newman, he goes, the guy that was talking to him at the time, he's talking about Charlie Kirk. He says, I think he's tied with the shooter because of what the discussion was, and that's my opinion.
I could see that correlation too.
Yep.
Like I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
Deeper is at play there. But
Well,
yeah, I can definitely see how you could draw that conclusion.
and that was the first thing, him and his brother and I were chatting about this in a text, and he said that. And yeah, I could see it too. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of questions. I think there's gonna be more even after we find out, if you know what I mean. Keith Horse said, yeah, I think he died instantly. Rick Welch, he says, a white background with no evidence of an exit wound is what makes me scratch my head. Yeah, it depends on. I'd have to get a better look at the actual trajectory of what was happening there and what kind of bullet was being used. I don't know any of these things. So I'm not going to jump there just yet, because I'm a shooter. Leon's a shooter. A lot of people that listen to this program are shooters. It all has to do with where it comes from, how it comes, the velocity. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into dictating what comes out on the exit wound. So Doug Thompson says, if this was a BLM person, there would be riots in the streets. But from this, there will only be prayer vigils across the country. Conservatives are the problem side of this. This country needs to get a serious revival back to how the country is founded. There is too much complacency. I think I've seen it happen after Trump was elected, and then after he took office, I've seen a huge drop and complacency setting in because people felt safe now, in my opinion, and we're far from it. This was just a pause, a big pause.
I don't even see it as a pause. I
No,
dude, it has to be a way of life. It has to be. It can't be when something bad happens, we all jump. It cannot be that.
right? You have to live it, and that's
One,
I've been sounding this alarm. That T-shirt I seen that says, "Hey, I need new conspiracy theories." Mine all came true. It's kind of true. I mean, you and me, a bunch of them, we've been saying these things. But David Fetting, you're right. David says, "I'm behind here, but I don't advise anyone to see the video of Charlie being shot if you still have the innocence of not seeing anything like it before." Probably true. It's pretty clear cut. Keith O'Donnell, and I agree with this one. Feminism definitely has played a part in the destruction of the family unit. I don't disagree with that at all. Yeah, let's see. Oh, this is my nephew, Colton. He says, as someone in the age range in which you are all talking about, guys are absolutely spot on about the American dream, seeming unattainable to my generation. Charlie was shown on YouTube shorts, Facebook reels, etc. for years and truly welcomed in a new age of people being introduced to an entire different side of politics that is being shoved down their throats by schools and society. Man, that's dead on, isn't it?
100%.
And that's, I think, what was the phenomenon. Charlie Kirk was focused. He had a goal. He was. I think he even enrolled in college and dropped out, didn't he?
He did.
And said, "This is no good." Gee, I know a guy like that. Oh, that's right. I'm looking at him right here in the mirror. Anyway, because I couldn't be. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But Charlie did that, and he said, he set out on a mission. He wanted to reach the people, and he did. And I saw a guy that was talking about him today that evidently helped him out with that and helped him out with the financing when he first set up and getting, Turning Point USA on its feet and doing. He had a mission and a goal.
Not just the people. He had a target demo
Absolutely.
that was spot on. And then, like, I'm not a big contrary to popular belief, I'm not a big social media guy. Like, so, like, I've had an Instagram forever. I think I may have posted just one or two deals on it, and I just reopened it up like once you and I and Jamie started talking, and but Charlie, he had the pulse of what young people
Yes.
were like. That the way they ingested information is not the way you and I like. I'll still sit here and I'll read through a white paper, like that's kind of
Yeah.
what my dad. He still likes to feel a paper in his hand as he, but you know, the younger demographic, they like sound bites, and so he was spot on with that. So like Instagram, and I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah. Hearing
That,
that too. Hey, NSA, knock it off. I don't know what that was, Leon. I don't think it was on my end, but
but yeah, we like with my kids with Eli. Like I am very, very. My eye is on everything that goes into that kid's brain, and like some of the things that we did today. Went got him a peep site. Got out, made a couple of reels. Was just waiting to upload them because my whole thing is you got a boy. He should not be in front of a screen ever. He needs to touch grass. He shouldn't have any bling outside of a coyote, hide or something. Some brass, that sort of
there you
thing.
go.
And like he got some of that today too. And it got man, you have no idea how bad today sucked. I Eli had a great day. Great day. People were giving him stuff because his birthday is next week. Like he got a yote pelt. He was like, I mean, he had this thing
Cool.
on everybody we saw. He was like, "Hey, look what I got here!" And they after they jumped, and this little 7-year-old, and then we went and got him a peep sight on his bow, and then he started just whacking that bullseye like nobody's business because he's been doing it just by eyeballing it, and he's pretty doggone good. And then he got used to that peep sight. Oh my god! Like he was
Lovely, huh?
hacking that thing all day long, and then we get in the car and this happened. Like
Yeah.
it's a thing,
And
and it sparks another conversation. And I, you hear that?
I do. I hear that you're moving too much, evidently.
Oh, probably.
I
Well,
don't know. By the way, so I got to tell everybody, I just was told that I'm not getting a lot. You're right. The Twitter, for whatever reason, the Twitter feed, it's live. I just went and checked. It is there, but it is not coming through in the comments. And I don't know how to fix that, especially when we're live this way. So if you want to participate, you're probably going to have to roll over to one of the other platforms, unfortunately. So just letting everybody know that. I'm going to finish up a few of these, and we're probably going to have to take a quick break. I mean, we're not radio, but we still got to take some breaks. Eric Glasser says, I am a bot confused. He's just being funny. He says, do they or do they not have a shooter in custody? So here's what I got on the last of this, Leon. Maybe I haven't heard any other updates. I got my other channel on over here, but they've had two people in custody and they've both been released. As you said, Patsy 1 and Patsy 2 are now been released. So far as I know, they have not arrested anybody else, and I'm not seeing it come across the feed over here.
me either. Yeah, I'm on a couple of chat groups, and they were like, "Oh, so they arrested another guy. They got a guy in custody." I'm like, "So that was Plan B. Let's see how long that lasts."
Yep. I do like what Eric says here. He says, guns have been around for centuries. I understand that they have evolved. I hate that term, evolved. But anyway, the violence numbers, minus suicide, have gone up in the last 20 years. Sounds like a change in society and human behavior. It is. It's not a gun problem, it's a people problem. And that really does correlate with the breakdown of society. And that's just not here. You can go look at the Roman Empire and their breakdown and what was their demise. Look at any society that's been around. We're past the expiration date in all honesty.
Yep,
And
I've been telling people that. Like we
yeah,
are running on borrowed time right now
for a
because
long time.
yeah, yeah, we're not supposed to be this far along in this social experiment that you know
Right.
it's and what we again every So I have really good friends on AM 1100, and one day I called in because they were talking about, the expansion of Fargo. Is it good? Is it bad? Yada yada yada. And you know me, I'm a try that in a small town type guy,
Yeah.
right? And so I don't think it's a good thing. But as long as we have people pushing for urban centers, concrete jungles, you are going to have sick people. They
Yep.
are not rooted. They're not grounded in anything, and they are subsidized to the hilt. That's why when I was in Bismarck, we stayed at the Radisson,
Okay.
and so I'm walking around downtown, and it's not good. I'm
No.
just gonna tell you, guys, it is not good. I could not wait to get out to the shooting range. I can't explain to my 7-year-old. Oh yeah, I am moving around too much.
It's on your end. It's on your end. I did go quickly look it up. I went right to Kash Patel's his X feed. The subject in custody has been released after an interrogation by law enforcement. Our investigation continues, and we will continue to release information in interest of transparency. So that's where they're at with the FBI director.
So after we come back from the break, can we talk about a couple of the text messages that I got?
Absolutely.
One of them involves churches and what we should do to kind of protect ourselves as conservatives, as Catholics or Protestants, whatever you are, whatever your denomination. What do you do? And the second one is I got a really good friend who's a really big name in the Republican, conservative, libertarian sphere here in North Dakota politics, and he reached out to me because he's concerned. So I kind of want to, if we can just touch on those two things, on the other side of the break.
Absolutely. And I'm just so armed and absurd. He said Turning Point was more than just YouTube videos. It was an entire movement. And Charlie was a great speaker that gave everybody a voice. He'll be greatly missed. And that's what we talked about earlier. Turning Point USA is a movement, and it's not going away. I think it's going to get stronger. I think it's going to get bigger. And I think you're going to see that generation that was following him. I mean, it's like any other thing we've seen in history. When you take out a leader, one of two things happens. Either the movement fizzles and is defeated because it was already maybe on rocky ground, or guess what? It explodes and becomes a whole nother thing. And I think that's where this one will go. So Doug says, or the school shooting in Colorado this morning. Yeah. We've got that. And Lynette pointed out, what about the poor girl got stabbed in the neck? That's a whole nother thing. You want to talk about a societal problem there.
We are broken, man.
They just sat there.
Society.
They just sat there. Yeah.
My wife asked me that same thing. She watched that video and she's like, they all just sat around, and I'm like, yeah, we're conditioned to do that. If it's a meat or a clay, I would have put him down at the second I saw him stand up. I would have put him down.
Yep.
But we are conditioned to pull our phones out. Daniel Penny. I mean, my God, what they put that guy through. You remember that guy on the subway?
Isn't that horrible? Well, let's video it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do me any favors, buddy.
Yeah. Well, too, I'm going to run a couple ads here, so we'll be right back. I won't run the great big one. I'm going to do one for North Dakota Farm Bureau coming up in Grant and Sioux County, and then we'll thank Colorado, and we'll be right back, and then we'll do our big one at the next break in the next hour.
Fun for all ages. The NDFB Grant Sioux County Annual Meeting in Carson, North Dakota at the Grant County Fairgrounds.
The annual meeting begins at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Free meal by T&T Caterings following the meeting.
Updates about what the North Dakota Farm Bureau has accomplished in the 2024-25 year. Reports on events.
Special guests.
Gun raffles.
Axe throwing.
Quick draw contest and mounted shooting jackpot contest.
3 stages. Pistol, shotgun, and rifle.
School, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Sign up by 2 p.m.
The North Dakota Farm Bureau Grant and Sioux County's annual meeting. For more info, contact Paul Metz.
701-891-9987. The NDFB Grant and Sioux County's annual meeting at Carson, North Dakota at the Grant County Fairgrounds.
Saturday, September 13th, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Annual meeting begins at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time.
A great time spent all afternoon in Carson, North Dakota.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right, we are back. We are joined by our friend Leon Blackbeard Logic every Friday night. If I remember right, 6 to 8, right? Central Time?
Yes,
That's
sir.
a brand new show right here on what Todd Mitchell coined the Guns and 701 network now. So leave it to Todd, right?
We are a network, man. I mean, you're all the way on the western edge, and then we're bringing it back, and now we're like
Yeah.
central east type deal. It's a network, man.
We got the whole state covered now. Yes, we do. And then, of course, every Wednesday night here, and then I'm on Todd in the morning. So, I mean, it's a double dose on Friday. I mean, I can't think of a better way to start the weekend. Tune at 7:15, 8:15 Central to Mitchell in the morning on K-Fire. And then in the evening, I mean, come on. We got Leon on. So, yeah, looking forward
I like making Todd blush. I say off-color remarks that he doesn't know how to respond.
to
You
I
tell him that.
I could tell you when you filled in when I was gone, that was awesome. I was able to tune in there. I went and found a little bit of it, and then I went and listened to the whole thing on their app, and that's like, oh, this is great. So good job and thank you. And it doesn't get much better. I'm going to be joining. I'll be doing it this Friday, but I'll be heading actually north of Jamestown for another funeral, and unfortunately, it was for a dear friend of mine, and his son. 7 years old, was killed in a 4-wheeler ATV accident. So, yeah, it's been an interesting few weeks around here for this side of the family, anyway. So, we will be heading there, and then today this happens. It's like, wow, it's just I don't know. It's a good thing I have a strong faith.
Yeah, me too. I have a very strong faith, and like a couple of the things. Like one of the texts that we're going to talk about, they're talking about securing their church
Wow.
and what they should do, and this and that. And I think and I'll read off my response verbatim. I'm just going to kind of
Yeah, let's roll right into that. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, so this is a really good friend of mine, solid Christian man, Second Amendment supporting, been shooting with him multiple times. But
Mhm.
again, my mindset is not the same as a lot of Christian men. Their mindset.
Okay.
So so after the shooting in Minneapolis, he was able to gather up the men in his church, and they had a little discussion about it. And he says the discussion kind of got heated. They didn't want arms in there. I brought up that there should be security training and for certain people, and maybe good gravy, and maybe some concealed carry classes, and I can hear it doing its thing in my ear, but they were freaking out about liability issues and all of that. He tried to bring up because I've been talking to him about some of the things he should talk about, and like armed security, situational awareness, and protocols. Certain things they did not want, like these beta males in this church did not want any mention of a firearm, any mention of strong men being protectors standing at the door or whatever. And basically, he's asking all of this. The pastor needs to know if you're going to come in with a firearm. The pastor needs to know X, Y, and Z. And I said, like, he asked me what I did, and I simply told him I don't ask. Like,
Yeah,
I basically told him that God didn't task the pastor with saving my family. God tasked me with saving my family. So to me, it is a foreign concept for me to ask a pastor if I can carry in his church. I'm not asking
I don't ask.
you, and if you see it and you're like weird about it, I'll leave. Like, you're not the church for me. Period.
Yep.
Um, our church only require. No, I can't say that. Police. He said they wanted to basically reach out to police officers to attend their church and that sort of thing. And basically, I said I don't ask. I don't let anybody know. Folks that know me know I will always be carrying. In my humble opinion, it's not up to my pastor whether or not I protect my loved ones. God gave me that responsibility, no one else. And also, I like we gotta have some hard truths. Like, do you love your family, or do you love the fact that you've been with the church for 30 years? What I'm saying is, I do the best that I can with what God gave me, and my thinking might be flawed. But in my humble opinion, the way I think will protect my family. Like the girl on the train. I've been preaching about situational awareness till I'm blue in the face. When I saw things happening at BLM rallies in Fargo, I sat my wife down and we had this conversation about situational awareness because you have to be aware. I've seen way
Absolutely.
too many people in way too many settings on their phone, and you could literally walk up to them and take things out of their purse. I mean, I've done that to my wife several times. I've been not here lately because she's become a lot better at it. I teach my son the same thing. Like when we go in, my son is 7. When we go into a store before I get out, I tell him a couple of things I want him to notice, and tell me when we get back to the truck. He's got a little pad he puts in his back pocket, so
Yep.
he'll write it down. And I want him to be descriptive. Like the first couple times, he was telling me like just kind of things that a 6-year-old would say, and I say, let's break this down. This is what I saw, and I'd go to those same examples that he would give me, and I would break them down. And now I don't expect him to do that, to notice
Right.
at that detail. But what I'm training him to do is to be aware of what's going on around him. And like my son in his pocket, if you try to like pick him up, take him somewhere, he's got devices in his pockets that let me know where he is, and he also has a walkie, and he knows how to use it. And he knows if I give him a certain signal, he's going to change to a certain channel, and we're going to have a conversation, and that whole thing. And a lot of folks might think that that's just being paranoid, and you're just, good God,
No.
but
That-
absolutely not. You make these things a part of life. Me and a really big gun guy that I know, that had a conversation today, and he is livid. And he's like, I got to change my game up. I don't think my pistol is, sufficient. If something happens, and Yeah, which is again me for a very very long time. I go nowhere without. You see one of those packs back there?
Mm-hmm.
I have one is a well, it's a 300 blackout. The other, I've recently come to love these folding stocks. You can put that ring on,
Yeah.
and they fold like that. Drop it right in there. But I have always had a truck AR, always. Either the
Well,
300 blackout or the
so Leon, I just got to jump in here. So you talk about the packs, and then I carry a red backpack. Anyone that knows me, when I go somewhere, I always have my red backpack with me. Now,
uh,
what goes in and out of it changes sometimes, depending on what buildings I go into, and I try to avoid buildings that infringe, but sometimes I have to go into them. So, that changes. But yes, I carry a notebook or I carry my whatever I'm doing. But trust me, there's more in that backpack
yeah,
than than just paperwork.
yeah.
And that goes everywhere with me for that reason. I guarantee you that if I need something and I need it now and I can't, for some reason, can't get to something I have on my person or I didn't, whatever the reason, if I get to my pack, I'm in good shape.
Yeah,
And
never be a instance where like any of us, a God fearing, patriotic, Second Amendment guys, should be caught unawares, caught sleeping in a baseball term. But there
well,
should never be a situation. And I have seen like again in Fargo when that guy hopped out and he started shooting at the cops. Had I been there, that would have been a very 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 short exchange. But
right.
no one is thinking like that. And it's sad that
No.
you have to, but no, I take that back. It is not sad that you have to. You are a protector. You are a defender. And if you are hurting society, which my son, my wife has to operate in that environment, then I'm going to make sure that when something happens, I'm able to make it as safe as possible for them. I could care less about your daddy issues and whether or not I'm being a crazy right wing extremist or any of that stuff. Soup to nuts. That's what I'm here for. That's it.
Absolutely. And I'm not, I'm, anyone knows me, I don't really do well with infringement. Okay. And I just, like you said, I don't ask. I don't ask. I guarantee you, and I don't really care who gets pissed or I just don't give a crap what you think. I've walked into many churches carrying. I ignore the signs I see on businesses that say you can't carry here. You know what? Kiss my ass. Now, I guess if you ask me to leave, I'll leave. Uh, Usually, if I see that sign, I don't want to go to that business anyway. But like I've been to I don't know how many malls where I'm going to a business that sells guns for criminy sakes. Oh, you're not allowed to carry here. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I don't see no metal detectors, and you're sure not frisking me. So bye bye. My own church that I go to, I carry in there every Sunday when I'm there. Which is most Sundays unless I'm gone out of the area. But I really don't care about the rules or what you say. I might have even been known to do it in some places that, well, we don't want to admit anything here, but you
Yeah,
know what I'm getting at.
be smart.
And I can tell you right now, nobody knew, and the place was safer for it. Okay. I always laugh when you see a school and they say no guns allowed. Really? Well, how many times have we seen soft targets,
Yep.
gun-free zones become killing zones because nobody did anything? Just like nobody did anything on the train in North Carolina, I believe it was, where the
Yep.
lady got stabbed. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm sitting there and I actually look over and see a guy that's going to stab someone, guess what? I'm going to ventilate him and help him assume room temperature. I'm
There
not even
were
going to
three.
hesitate.
There were three guys sitting right to the side there. Like
Yeah,
if you have like halfway decent situational awareness, and that woman did not, and I am
no,
not
she didn't.
blaming her,
Well,
but
she was,
way too many of our women, yeah, do this thing.
yeah.
But if I'm a guy and I'm sitting there, you could see him pull the knife out.
I know.
You could see him do it. Like the second I saw that and saw what his intended target was, I would have air raided. It would have scared the crap out of that woman
It
and
would
most
have.
people on that train. But and then you got to go through the Daniel Penny situation and all of that stuff. But there's no way. There's no way. And if I'm traveling with like-minded guys, we might not even need a gun. Like,
Yeah, we might just take him out.
everybody needs a good scrap every now and then. When you're
Kind of like, let's roll, right?
bro, let's see how this
You
goes.
And speaking of, tomorrow's September 11th,
Yeah.
and we
Good
saw
God. Oh,
we saw tragedy, we saw an attack on our soil, we saw the loss of life, but we also saw heroes, like the people on the plane over Pennsylvania. So we're not taking it. We're
no,
making our stand, and let's roll.
that's what God made you to do, right there.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to get to a few of these comments because they've been coming in. By the way, the X chats now are working again, so that's good to see. Eric says it's not the pastor's church. The church is just a tax deductible building, and it is all the members and God that make a church. Absolutely, church is anywhere that three or more gather. I forget the actual scriptural.
Yep.
Part of
Wherever
that.
3 or more are gathered in my name, I will be there also.
There you go. I'm not quite. I mean, I've read it a couple times, but I don't have it memorized yet, Leon. So give me time. Give me
And
time.
again, a lot of people mistake piety with godliness. Like I can quote some scriptures. I know guys that can just recite the Bible, but again, that's not what God, I believe, put me on earth to do.
No,
I'm doing what I believe He instructed me to do, and
I have a written one, paper bound
yep,
Bible, and I also have a very good app on here that has the King James version, and I've actually read both my Bible and that and compared it, and it's correct, so that's good. And that's the one I prefer. I'm not knocking some of the like the NIV is not too bad, but I don't have any problem understanding the King James version. That's the one I prefer. So
and I don't. I try never to be too preachy because I know how my brain works. I can tune it out, tune it out, tune it out.
yes,
But what I am very, very good at is I really don't care what type of Bible. I don't. I mean, obviously within reason. But
well,
I if
there's
if I'm
some out there that aren't very good.
oh yeah, there's a
But
gay
yeah,
and lesbian Bible,
yeah, there you
but
go.
I am very good. Like I don't know if I ever told you this. My wife and I 10 years ago we were having issues.
Okay.
And she did the smart thing, and she was like, "You know what? When you get your crap together, give me a call." And I'm like, "Wait, what's going on?" It broke me, man. It broke me, and it didn't matter what church I went to. I happened to be driving that one day. We had been apart for about a year, and I was driving and blubbering like a baby, and asking God, I'm like, dude, I've been doing everything you asked me to do. I know the time is now. The time was like last week. The time, no, it wasn't it wasn't in my time frame. It was his time frame. And I
Absolutely.
happened to pull over at this church, and Dave Mata was the pastor there, and he happened to be there. And that guy ministered to me. I was not a Methodist. I had never been in his church before, but that's the way I believe that God works. I think that we put way too much faith in different denominations and literature and all of that. God, He wants to speak to you. He's a father.
You have to have a personal relationship. You can read and memorize all you want.
See?
If you don't have that personal relationship, I mean, the book is the book. It's the true word of God. Okay, that's where we should be getting our basis. But again, you have to have that very personal, true relationship. And I know a lot of people on here probably never heard me talk like that because I don't go around beating you on the head with it, right?
Don't
But
do that.
I can tell you right now, I'm far from perfect, and my past is my past. Yes, I was not exactly a practicing Christian. Not that I didn't believe, just didn't practice it. and
Yep.
didn't have a personal relationship.
Yep.
That happened, and I'm not going to go into that on this show, but I didn't see it coming either, Leon.
Me neither.
And there it happened, and I was like, "Gotcha, loud and clear."
100%. The way I describe it is, I'm his son. I
Yep.
listen. I talk to him, and I'm like, hey, and I don't talk to Eli like I would talk to you, and I believe that's the way he talks to me. He breaks it down like I need it. Sometimes
Well,
it's hard
yeah,
to swallow. Sometimes I'm
ab-
like, wait a minute, Jamie's
absolutely.
over there doing X, Y, and Z, and you're not Jamie, son. Sit down.
Well,
We need to have a talk.
and
You
I've
know,
had too many things in my life that have happened that there is absolutely no way God's hand wasn't involved, because I just I said, "Okay, it's in your hands."
yep,
And I've lived by that for a long time. That's why when people talk about, even, I'm an egg producer, right? Granted, I'm in a different situation than most, but I don't fret about the market. I don't fret about the weather. I pray. And I can tell you for a fact that it may not have been how I wanted it to go, but our family and our place has always come through and always been taken care of in some form. The things we needed, not that we wanted. And it's that simple.
yeah. Amen, brother.
I mean,
All
it
right.
is. Yeah. So yeah, hey man, this is welcome to the Bible Hour on Guns and Noise. Hey John, good evening. Great sponsor there, Little Angry Man Firearms. So, I'm
Penny,
going to go through a
look
few
at
of these.
Penny.
What's that?
Look at Penny up there. She's got it nailed down right there.
Yes, he did, doesn't he? Jason's a good guy. And by the way, Jason and I, we kind of used to not get along in high school, and I consider we're pretty good friends now. So things change, they really do, and I think Jason's a great guy. So Doug Wolf, he says here, last time I attended church, the preacher was pushing gun control as I was carrying. I haven't been back since, and go find a new church. That's pretty simple.
Yep.
But we don't let people sit behind us and unintended. I don't either. When I go into a place, Leon, ask my wife where I have to sit. It's never with my back to a door. And she's like, oh, she knows this too.
Yep.
So I got a good one there. She just knows it. David says, I would love, or I would attend a Leon service. There we go, Leon.
Well, man, it's something different. I'll tell you that.
Armed in the Surge says, I've been reading the New English translation. It is pretty easy to read for us younger folks. And it may be, I mean, I haven't, and there's a lot of these newer English translations. Even the church I was part of before, it would have been the Wisconsin Evangelical Lutheran Synod. They rewrote it, and well, they didn't rewrote it. They supposedly retranslated it, and I'm just not. I guess there's also for me, it's just I like the way that people talked back when it was first translated, or I don't know. To me, a lot of things, the depth and the meaning just don't resonate with me in New English. They just don't. I
100%.
like it,
We're
and that's
dumb.
why I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you read some, like, even some older works, which is why I love classical. The whole classical academics, I love it, because even if you're reading, like, I don't know, Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, it's like just miles below,
Yeah.
like above what you would be reading now. Like just the wordplay, just the way
Right.
the descriptive words, everything. It it breaks down easier, and to a knuckle dragging Neanderthal like me, I kind of need that, because
Well,
if it's missed in translation, if you're telling me this big a thought, but using 3 words, you're not doing it for me, man. I need to know. I need to
yeah,
get down in there.
absolutely. Well, so if you want a good read, read the 1688 King James version. I read that one. That's before the one that traditionally is used today. Go read that one. It's the actual translation done in 1688. It's very, I don't know. I like it. That's not the one I read the most, but I do recommend you read it. I really do.
I will be getting
'Cause
one.
I do believe you can understand it too. So, John says, "Good evening, patriots and freedom fighters." And Jason, you as well, Clay. I'm honored to know. Absolutely, Jason. And you couldn't have a better guy that's going to be in your corner, and he's a patriot. Jason's had some struggles in life and come through them. And never ever, and I can't stress this enough to people, never judge a person by their past. Judge them on what they're doing now, because that person might not be the same as you remembered 30 years ago. It's not high school. It's not. Please don't do that. I don't do that. I give everybody a chance. Now you screw with me, we got a different situation. But
I'm telling you right now, if I were even the person I was 10, 15 years ago, I'd be divorced. Like there's just no way that a woman like my wife would put up with my crap. It just nope.
So my wife and I got married. She was 20 and I was 23. We've been married 27 years, and we dated for 4. Now, we didn't live together. We didn't move in. We literally just dated for 4 years, which is rare today.
Mm,
And I can tell you right now, if it wasn't for my wife, if God wouldn't have sent her to me,
mm.
I'd probably be in jail today. I don't know. I was probably not on a good path.
Read.
So, and that's the truth. It really is. So,
But Nick, I really
um,
want to do this thing. No, you don't.
no,
All right.
yeah. David says, I don't always sit with my back to the door, but when I do, the friend I'm with is a better shot than I. There you go.
100%. That church, Calvary, like there were so many patriots in there that I could, you know, I felt 100% comfortable because
Mhm.
somebody's gonna get him coming in those doors. So
Yeah. Well, our little church was just right here. That's why it was a great church, but it was, well, everyone dying off, right? 6 members can't really keep a church going, not a building and stuff like that. But anyway, I didn't worry about there because I knew I was carrying. I had very good situational aware. I don't know how many others were in there. We never talked about it because we didn't care. I just assumed that some of the others were in there as well. And I know that there's more than just me at the other church that I'm at now. But again,
I do think that like-minded guys need to kind of get together and talk about it because again, I've seen way too many guys do the same thing I see way too many women and kids do. No situational awareness, like just on their phone. Like, um, I made a reel, haven't posted it, but one of the things that I do, and it's just a part of who I am and what I am. I never take my phone into a store, never. I and especially if I'm with my family, but I never do. So if you're
right,
trying to reach me and I'm like, I don't know, in Walmart, it's not gonna happen. Or Shield, it's not gonna happen because I don't want my attention diverted. And I've been
okay,
pushing this on my wife. Like when I'm with her, then it's not that big a deal, but I want her to make it a way of life. And I think that more guys I think, and I'm just going to say this: we're guys here, except Lynette. Sorry, but I think a lot of us are too soft. I think that we have been lulled into a false sense of security. I think
oh,
that
absolutely,
we say little memes and sound bites like, when you need like when 15 seconds count, a cop is 5 minutes away. I think that's a great little, but we don't live by it. If that were not the case, then we wouldn't have issues like what happened on the public transit. Well, we wouldn't have our wife on a public transit anyway. But
right. But yeah,
the fact of
well,
the matter is, I see way too many guys falling for that same thing.
and I don't, even when I go to big cities, I don't use public transit. I guess I'm just so independent that it just doesn't appeal to me. I did while I was in DC because it was easier to get around downtown. It just is. There's nowhere to park, there's nowhere to drive. But I guarantee you, then I'm at a heightened situational awareness because you don't know what you're going to run into out there. And luckily, we see that it's right now being cleaned up, but I guarantee you there's still issues out there and they'll come back. So let's get a few more of these comments. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up on the comments tonight. That's just, let's see. John, he says, even with today's events, which is awful, please keep Charlie family in your prayers and this great country too. also remember that there's a great gun show in Mobridge this weekend. Even if you don't buy anything, just come look around and talk to fellow patriots, because I feel we could all use that after day. Absolutely. We've got the gun show going on there. Again, expressing and exercising our freedoms and our rights, especially the Second Amendment. John will be there, I'm pretty sure, with little Angerman Firearms. Gene Chalks, who usually listens to this show very, very often, I'm sure he's busy probably setting up for getting ready for that, because he's the guy in charge of it. But you got that. We have the big event that we had the advertisement for up in Carson. It is the North Dakota Grant-Sioux County annual meeting, but it's a whole day, and we've got mounted shooting. I mean, this is going to be fun, guys. The horses and the shooters are going to show up, and it's a real competition. Axe throwing there. Now that's manly, right? Throw an axe, get primal. And then, of course, we're going to have a quick draw that anybody can actually participate. It's a $10 entry, and that's mostly to cover the cover everything that takes to do that, as far as the ammo and things like that. And it's a 50% payback. Enjoy a great meal afterwards. Going to be catered by D&T Catering, Trampus Brenner and Dylan Fuchs. I'm telling you, you got two great events. They're plenty far apart. Pick one and go to one and just have a great day. And I'm with John. After what we saw today, I think we're going to need that. I really do.
See, my plan this weekend was to have take Eli out there, but I got that text I told you about. So if I can get a couple of the Fargo guys to go to that event and kind of just be the eyes, or if there's not enough of them, then I'm probably just gonna go. Yeah.
Well, right here. Justin Linsky, he says the lack of situational awareness in the general public is disturbing. It is disturbing, because, and I can tell you, this is one reason. I do carry mine with me, Leon, probably, but it's always in my pocket. I don't have it out. It's never in my hand. Like I see. I mean, I think some people it's attached. You can't get it off their hand, and I don't do that.
Like crack. Like I've seen people that just cannot put their phone down.
I mean, I'll even have my phone.
You're not that important, dude.
Right. And I have my phone where pretty much all the notifications for anything that I don't give a crap about and I'll look at later, they're off. Otherwise, my email, my text, and a call, that's really the only notifications that come through in a sound. And I mean, you can't believe when I sit with some people and they hear ding, ding, or whatever they got, and they got to pick it up and look at it. It's like, why am I even having dinner with you? You're not even paying attention.
And your daughters. And I've seen this with men too, but like that girl, going back to that lady in the subway, she's got her earbuds in.
Yes.
And she's got her head down in the phone. She is completely checked out. And I've seen these kids with like these well, not these are walkers, but they have these big ear phones on, whatever they're called, the Beats by Dre or whatever.
Right.
And they're just totally, you could walk right up to them and knock them in the head, and there's not they wouldn't see it coming at all.
Wouldn't have a clue, would they?
Have a clue. And so we gotta, our kids, they again, touch grass.
Yeah.
Grass, please.
Yes. We've got to get them off of that. Mine ain't too bad. I get on them quite a bit about it. My oldest, he likes to listen to things. So I've gotten to where when we're traveling, like, pull them ear things out of your freaking head and look around, see what's around you. You missed all kinds of stuff. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I go on trips with my parents or my grandparents, all we had was to look out the window, but we saw a lot of cool things that kids miss today.
I spy. I drill Eli. Should I turn down this street? We're trying to get home, and he's like,
There you go.
We don't turn down this street. What are you talking about? Oh, just want to make sure you're paying attention.
So let's get to a few more of these comments. Boy, a great conversation. Eric says, I take my phone into stores because I do price checks to see if I can get stuff cheaper elsewhere. Nothing wrong with that. He goes, I can't go to either events either, as I'm underpaid and on call this weekend. Yeah, I figured that might happen. He's got a job where he's got to be on call, but they really don't pay enough. But that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, but armed and absurd. I carry my phone everywhere in case of emergency, but it never leaves my pocket. That's the way mine is. I don't really take it out of my pocket much. Hey, Tommy, good to have you listening. The awareness is good to talk about. Good job, Clay. Tommy's a good guy. I've known Tommy a long time. Corey, good evening. Gents, sad day for conservatives. It is a very sad day. It's a tragic day, but we have to pick that torch up. Remember, God's in control. It's that simple. That's what you got to do. Brian says, watch people freak out when the battery gets low and they can't find a charger. I have witnessed that in an airport, Brian. Oh, my goodness. And they do it. I had someone walk up and go, can I use your charger? I said, I guess. I said, what do you got? Oh, they had an Apple phone. I have a Samsung. And mine didn't work. And they were hunting. I said, well, why don't you go over to that store if you need one? There was a store over there. It's the airport in Minneapolis. Go find one. But really, there's nothing I need to know that's that important. It just is.
Again, in my backpack, in one of those in both of them, I have what's called a no-code boost.
Yep.
And so that's in there. Like, again, when you talk about preparedness, that backpack right there, that's it right there. And when I'm in a store and I get folks, if there's an emergency, this and that, I'm a young old school guy. I believe that if there's an emergency at home, my wife will take care of it until I can get there. And if I'm not there anyway, I can just check my phone when I get back to the car. If there is an emergency in the store, I'm confident enough that enough people there have communications, have a phone or whatever.
Right.
What I want to do is I want to be able to identify a threat, be able to either remove myself from that threat, especially if I'm with like Eli, or be able to face that threat and put it down, stop it. And so those are my, like, when I'm going in an emergency, it's kind of in the back of my head because I'm the responder. I'm the first responder, and that's my mindset.
Right. And we are the first responder. Luckily now my boys are at an age where, like I tell everybody, I wouldn't want to go up against my youngest son, especially with a pistol. I think he's better than I am. Yep. And he's
got that good eyesight, man.
Oh yeah, and he's got that situational awareness. Like I said, we gotta get you out here, Leon, because I just got to show you the place, and we gotta do some hunting, and you can shoot some targets, and we'll send some.
You got a couple of tools back there.
Yeah, I got some. You can send some freedom seeds downrange on my range. So yeah, all right. Luke Sonnet, he said, email, calls, text, but can't forget those game camera notifications. There you go.
A good point. Dude, that's a very, very good point. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And Luke, let me know, did you get your order? We fulfilled your order, but I didn't know if you got it yet. So let me know on that. So I'll tell you what, it is 8:30. Wow, 9:30 your time. We probably ought to take a moment and thank our sponsors because this doesn't happen without those. And I think we need to go give some love to them. And you can get something to drink or do whatever. And we'll be back here in about 5 minutes, everybody. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, we are back again. We've been discussing Charlie Kirk assassination, situational awareness, churches, guns. I mean, I think we've packed a lot in here tonight, Leon, and I don't think we're done yet, are we?
Oh no, I'm constantly getting text messages. There are, and this is sad. There are because of what happened today. People, representatives, legislators that are, you know, they're canceling events. They're reassessing, the safety, protocols in place at events that they're going to be attending. And I get it. I get it. I would caution though that we can't let these guys scare us. We cannot let them do a thing like this and put us on the back foot. You know, again,
Absolutely.
when I was at that event in Bismarck, and I like huge, native guy, and like these BLM people, when I did not feel fear up there, even though they came to the stage and they were calling me names and this and that. And the reason I did not feel fear is not because there were like a big police present, because there wasn't, but I had faith in the men that were at that event,
Yep.
and they saw that threat. They put that threat down, and they didn't even use firearms. I feel sorry for the guy. And they secured one of the kids because one of the women, and I loosely use the word mother of that kid, didn't really care that she was carrying a kid into a violent situation, and they rescued the kid. And I think going forward, we need to be uh, conscious that evil sees a potential awakening and revival in this country, and it is going to fight. It is
I think
going
you're
to
right.
fight, and we need to be ready for that fight. That's where I'm at. I'm not.
Oh,
I am not changing a damn thing in my life because liberals don't like what I say.
well, I'm the same way. I don't cancel things. I mean, unless it's something that absolutely I can't control. But that's a whole. But as far as canceling because of events or circumstances, and where the left is pissed, yeah, that's never happened. And my favorite saying, "Go pound sand." I
Yep.
mean, I used to run a coyote hunt, and we had guys from Fargo's PETA group. I don't know, probably not very many at that time. We were there to come down and protest. I said, "Come on down. We're not going to cancel it." I said, "Do you want to come down here in the middle of the reservation with a bunch of guys with guns that are enjoying some beer and drinks?" I said, "By all means, please attend."
When so let me ask you, when they fart, did it smell like soy milk?
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
I'm sorry. That's not
Oh,
bad.
yeah, no. So, I like what Dougie says here. Doug's like, that's what the left wants. They want us to do that. They think that they can make us fear that. I don't fear leftists. I don't at all. He says, we can't let terrorists win. Trampus said some of the comments on Facebook about Charlie Kirk are very disturbing. I couldn't believe some of
Not
the media.
yeah.
I mean, really? I mean, they essentially said it was his own fault. Like, wow. Yeah, these people, that's because they have no heart, they have no soul whatsoever. And it's
Dude,
all about inflicting as much pain that they can. I mean, that's what it's about because they're evil people. All right, there, Justin says evil wants to keep us silent by intimidation. I have news for them. It doesn't work for me. Me neither. Me neither. Not for Leon. Not for Jamie. Not for our sponsor here, Dougie. And he says that's what they tried to do with Trump. You're right, and I think you hit that early when you said it was a message to Trump. I think you're right. It was public. It was strategic, and it was carried out, unfortunately, flawlessly, and it happened. And I think that was a big old, hey, Trump, we might have missed you, but here we got your boy. They're just evil people.
I wonder what Bongino is going to do with this. Is what I'm wondering. I'm
I
not.
am too.
I'm not a big. I just haven't seen a lot out of Cash Patel, but I am a fan of Bongino.
Used to listen to Dan Bongino quite often.
And I'm going to say, like I on my phone right sitting right there, I have prominent um people in the NDGOP that are canceling events as
Yeah,
we speak. And
don't do it. Yep, don't
yeah,
do it.
and one other thing, it's not just the left. I almost broke my little impromptu rule that I was only going to post the one post today
Yeah.
because I saw who I used to believe was a conservative.
Hmm.
I saw a post of his basically blaming Trump and Charlie Kirk for, and I'm like, and before, like my fingers kind of flew across the keyboard, and I typed and sent something that I had to delete and pull back and just say, nope, it's
Yeah.
not just the left, man. It is
No.
no one deserves that. I told Jamie this. The amount of that crap crazy things that I have to listen to from these idiots, and I have never once said, you know what, I'm going to pick up my gun and shoot that guy in the face because that never even enters into my head.
Doesn't cross our mind, does it?
We are not the same.
No, we are
Those
not the same.
people, those people are broken.
Well, like I said, they have no soul. They have no moral compass. They're filled with hate and anger for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Probably because they don't have a presence of God and a relationship with Him. Therefore, they don't know who to turn to because they turn to man or they turn to items. And then when it doesn't work out, they blame us, especially if you're successful.
And I had this conversation last week, and that they have replaced the Theo with them. That's the problem. Like
Yeah.
with me, I see the Imago Dei in Clay. and it does not matter if me and you had a heated discussion or argument, and we were like just breaking chairs and throwing things around. I still see the Imago Dei in you, and I can do that with pretty much anybody, no matter how distasteful you are. When you are absent, or or Satan has shrouded your Imago Dei, so you can't recognize it in yourself and you can't see it in other people. That's how you can other people. That's how you can snuff out a life without thinking about it, because that is not a child of God in your eyes now.
Right. It's not. That's what I mean. They have lost their soul. Maybe be in there somewhere.
Yep.
But at that moment, and I run into people who, I don't believe in God, and then they turn around and blame that same God they claim not to believe in for the problems. It's like, okay,
I run into Satan worshipers that didn't believe in God, and I'm like, well, how does that
yeah,
work? It's
Satan's a fallen angel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, really. So you don't believe in God, but you have a belief in Satan and want to worship him. Now, I don't doubt you want to worship him, but he doesn't exist unless God exists.
100%. And the same thing with some atheists that I know. A couple too. Well, one in particular. But yeah, I don't understand how you could go through life that it's a
Yep.
loss. It's I can't even imagine it, man. And it's the
I
reason
can't either.
why you see so many broken people, so many
Absolutely.
drones, so many zombies just kind of walking through life with no purpose. And again, you give a man a purpose, he'll go through a brick wall for you, or for
Absolutely.
that purpose. So the reason I'm as bullheaded as I am is because I have purpose.
You
you
have to
know?
have. If you don't, you don't have any. I mean,
Yeah.
and it needs to be based with God's word. Plain and simple. And I can't. That's probably the most I've ever talked in public about that. But that's just the way that it is. You can say you don't want it. You can say it don't exist. It doesn't mean you're right.
All right.
And I notice that those people are usually some of the most miserable people that I've met.
You'd have to be. I
And
mean, you absolutely have to be. And then
Yep.
when you think about the founding of this country, again, if
Yeah.
if you replace the Theo with government, then you're screwed. That's the thing that our founders got away from. It's the reason why they can't take away your Second Amendment, because they didn't give it to you. That is an inalienable right.
Right. Well,
It means that. Look that word up. It like just immerse yourself into that.
look what we
Because
look what we just seen in the Senate with Senator Kane saying that well, we're going to be like Iran because we're looking at religion rather than government as the people. No, government don't give you anything. They don't grant you anything.
not to
That-
mention, they don't have a written word. They have the mutterings of a madman who raped a 9-year-old. And
yes,
also, like that is such an idiotic
Oh.
take. The fact of the matter
so
is,
dumb.
our founders set it up that way, so they're like, well, we can't take these rights from you because they didn't come from us. They came from
God.
yeah.
They're
And
granted through God.
the opposite of that is a bunch of mullahs that are saying this is our interpretation of what that pedophile wrote down. No, he couldn't have wrote it down because he was illiterate. Well, anyway, don't.
And if you don't know what he's talking about, everybody, we were talking about Muslims in the Quran, and yes, I've read that horrible book. Do it in very small doses because it's a horrible read. Yeah,
It's
don't.
you're not alike. I mean,
We're not alike. There you go. We are not alike.
we are not alike. And him couching us with the mullahs in Iran and all of that, we are not
Okay.
alike. And this idiot, the fact that, dude. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, I know. All right, Justin says, if I have to die on my feet so my kids don't have to live on their knees in fear, so be it. My
Let's
fate
go.
was made before God laid the foundation of the earth. Absolutely.
Go. Let's
So,
go. I love that.
So Doug says, our buddy Dougie there, Doug. Anyway, great mechanic, guys, Lauer Auto Repair. How much Satan are we supposed to put up with?
I'm there. Oof.
You want to go with that one?
I'm right there.
Yeah.
Again, in my 3-foot world, is what I kind of operate in. I think that we need more men to have that little 3-foot world, because once that, once we kind of get together, that 3-foot world looks like the environment, the society that is closer to what our founders wanted. The fact of the matter is, there ain't a lot of us. That's
No.
the problem.
And
So how do you confront Satan? Like me raising Eli to be who he is and putting him in contact with good people like Doug and Lynette, and it's got to be a network of us. What they have done on the other side is they built these concrete jungles and they piled everybody into it.
and they
And
want us there too.
you better believe they do. They don't. They don't want people like me out here, which is why they hate me. I'm a coon to them. I'm a seller. So that's why they're so vitriolic when like a black guy gets off the plantation. That's why they need
How
you.
dare you?
How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? These
Well,
government.
and I think that's why they hate most of us. And let's face it, unless you've taken the egg producers that take the blood money from the government, that's a whole nother discussion. But they don't like people like me, independents, who take nothing from them, don't want nothing from them, even though they offer you everything in the world.
Yeah.
And I tell them, nope, don't want it. They don't want us because guess what? We're fighters. You talk about raising men. We're men. I'm raising 2 men.
Yep.
I can be self-sufficient to a nth degree here. I mean, I have everything I need here, and that scares them because you don't depend on anything they have. Plain and simple.
Yeah,
I don't even need their fiat money. I mean, barter is the oldest form of payment, and we do a lot of that in this area.
ask
We're-
Eli about that. We had a conversation about that today. He and I love what Nick does with him. But
I
he's
mean,
got a couple of paper dollars, and he's like, "Dad, this thing is nothing. It represents nothing. Like, there's nothing backing this thing." The Tuttle twin said, "Yada," and he just went off, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome."
yeah. I love the idea of bartering, but see, government hates that because then they can't tax it and steal from you. And I think you and I could have a show just on that.
Oh, on fiat currency? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
People are talking about this new
Hey, look behind you. Hey, look behind you.
Eli.
That's awesome. Hi, Eli. I love it.
Say hi and then get out.
We're all waving. How you doing? I love it. So, yeah, I know. I'll give some advice to everybody if you haven't done it, because it's still, don't look at the price of it. Do it as something you need to do. Get yourself some gold and silver. And you don't have to be precious coins. Don't have to be 100-ounce bars. You can buy you can get rounds, they call them, and you can have them even cut. And I got a place if you need it. I can tell you where to go to get that. We'll put it in 16ths, 8ths, quarter ounce. Those are spendable, and we all know what the value of. I mean, you could use them too. There are places starting to take them.
I'm a
What's
fan
that?
of goldbacks.
Oh yeah, goldbacks.
Yep.
People probably don't even know what them really are, but
Yeah, you got to be on this side of the conspiracy line.
Yes, you do. One thing I don't have yet, but I want to put up is a ham radio, but we're not going to go down that either. And I have the perfect antenna here for it. So, what do we got here? Patagonia. Gosh darn it! I listened to him a lot talking about Charlie Kirk. I'm crying. The Charlie Kirk show on Apple Podcasts is my favorite. I met him and he hits different, especially with my 2 daughters. Democrats must answer. I hear that a lot. And you know what? When you take the Jacksons and the cuckoos out there talking the things they've been spreading, the rhetoric, yeah, I mean it's gonna do things to the people that follow them. They already probably on the bubble anyway of insanity, and they probably get pushed over the edge. But I don't think this is a crazy. We'll see. This was too planned. This was too precise.
This is
and
a hit.
carried out. Yep.
Patagonia and Doug, you have no idea how many of my friends feel just like that. They're just like, let's arm up. Let's do this. Earlier today, I said this, and Clay, I'm sorry. I said, yeah, Clay always says keep your powder dry. F that. They, and I, I have sent calm down. Like, oh my God, your first reaction. I don't want them to lead us into another January 6th type
Right.
crap. Is what
Yeah.
I don't want. I don't want to see patriots needlessly.
Yep.
That's my biggest fear. Like what they did at January 6th. And if you guys don't know my position on that, I am not the AM 1100 guy when it comes to that. I think that only one person, two people were murdered that day, and they were both patriots.
Yep.
So that's where I
And-
come on that, and I believe that they were agitators. I believe the FBI and the CIA were all involved. I believe congressmen and women were involved in that, and they were poking us. And
yeah.
when our guys were saying feds, 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 it was because there were feds there instigating the thing.
You and
And
I are gonna have to have a talk, Leon.
yeah,
I know a guy. He was a North Dakotan that was. Well, let's just say he was gone for a long time until Trump got them all out.
I know you. I know who it is. He's a
Okay.
friend of mine.
There
Yep.
you go. So, and then of course I
So
knew
watch
some other
the
guys
guy.
that attended there, and they didn't get in trouble. They were far enough out, but they were questioned, and I mean they weren't even near it. So yeah, there was that went deep. So Patagonia, she says, well, United Healthcare, 2 attempts on Trump, Charlie Kirk, stuff like targeting Reagan, except John Wilkes Booth, Democrat shot Republican, Abraham Lincoln, the leftists pulled the final straw.
They're poking us.
They are poking us. Then you got another wonderful scene. Should we learn more about the suspect before blaming every Democrat? Well, I'll tell you what, I want to learn everything I can about the killer because that's what he is. Not a suspect. He did it. We need to find out who it is. There's no suspect. They're not alleged. They are guilty. Okay? It's that simple.
I think another wonderful secret is suspect. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Well, I figured that too. The suspect in Butler ended up being a registered Republican. No, he didn't.
Wait, what?
No, well, I'm sure this is a troll, but we don't get rid of trolls here. We let them go ahead and spout off. That's
100%.
just the way it is. My many classmates made statements about how conservative he was. Well, you're wrong. The guy was not a suspect. That it was a Republican. The guy in Butler literally ended up being a freaking crazed lunatic leftist. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Now, as far as blaming every Democrat, I don't blame every Democrat. Plain and simple. But let's face it, I can give you a whole litany of these people who've done this. And guess what party they've been affiliated with, whether they were officially paid members or not. But I don't need to. I don't have to keep
Your
anything with
brain.
this
Let's
person.
talk about SSRIs. Let's talk about it.
Yes,
Seriously, you want to go down this road?
Shit,
We
we
need
could
a
have-
couple more hours.
I say we could freaking tear this apart. Patagonia says Thomas Matthew Crooks and Butler gave money to the Democrats. Yep, it was proven. It was disclosed. Doesn't make him a Democrat, but it definitely made him a supporter. And I'm telling you right now, if you watch the Democrat Party, heck, you want to know how delusional they are. MTG wanted to have a moment of silence for prayer on the House floor. And when they went to do that, they couldn't even keep their yap shut then and basically were against it. You know what? I don't really got any use for a Democrat right now. I haven't for a long time, actually.
I saw that video, and the one person that I could hear over everyone was that loud mouth ghetto queen,
Oh,
Jasmine Crockett. And I'm like,
that-
oh no. I mean, they're
Yeah.
dude. Again, we are not the same. When
We are not.
like you can have your issues with MTG or Lauren or any of those guys, but if someone says, "Hey, let's have a moment of prayer, a moment of silence," this was a big effing deal, and then you got Eli. Come on.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of a really good point, and you're throwing me off right now. But But then you hear these Democrats. I mean, the mask was off, and I said this. I told Jamie this on a show that we were doing together.
Mhm.
But my dad, registered Democrat, lifelong until I moved him here, and then we have had conversations that are like get down to his soul. And
Yep.
now he's reading. Like I take pictures just for me. I don't put them on social media, but the books that he's reading, Dinesh D'Souza, um,
Oh, yep.
yeah, Glenn Beck, Summers, like, and then I we talk about like world events and what's going on, and like he cannot believe the demonic nature of the Democrat Party today. He cannot.
It's horrible.
He told me that in his words, demonic.
It is. And that's how they speak if you really listen to them.
Yeah.
That's how they're speaking. You look at their platform. Justin just said Democrats made the sins in Romans chapter 1 the platform for their party. Read their platform. I mean, they can't even. I watched their last time. I don't know if you watched the. Everyone sees the main stuff on TV, but when you go watch the actual DNC convention, did you see when they were doing resolutions and trying to get God put back into their platform and how it got booed?
Yep, I saw that. I showed my dad that.
I was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
It's just as bad as and we've got them in our party. Don't kid yourselves. They were trying to remove being against abortion in the Republican National Committee's
Yep.
platform. It did not go through, but they
I
did
got
try.
really good friends. So a lot of folks may not know, but I was the president of the North Dakota Tea Party caucus.
Okay.
I got folks that I started that with that were on that bandwagon. So yeah, we got them in our party. Like I took Eli last session, and we sat in there, and I looked at people who I sat in a room with and talked about critical issues, and we formed this group. And I'm looking at them now, and they're handing me paper, like reams of paper. Talking about like we have to couch our language on abortion, and
No.
just so we're all clear about where Leon stands on murdering babies, I'm a hard no.
I am due.
So, and I don't care how you couch it. I'm not a caveat guy, but what if, or no, are we murdering babies? That's what you want to do? Then hard no. Like there's
Hard no.
yeah,
Hard no.
that's it.
Yep.
Period. Point blank. That's all.
So, well, we're at 9. We're done 2 hours, which nothing wrong with that. But I guess David, he's got a couple things here. David, is God and country or Lucifer and hell on earth? Seems to be a pretty clear party line, doesn't it? It does. It really does. I guess I'm gonna just do some party. We had a whole show planned, but it's okay. We
But
didn't
then
need that.
you had me on.
Well, everything changed. It really did, and that's fine, Leon. I think shows like this are a little more fun. So, but I can tell you right now that I'm going to give you a parting shot. Today was tragic. It's a time for those that, especially those that were close to him, mourn. You need to do that. That's what you need to do. I know that I'll be including his family in my prayers. They're the ones that are going to live with the results. Charlie Kirk, he's getting his reward right now. I'm sure that he was opened with open arms, and his struggle. He's taken away from this sinful world, so we should be rejoicing that he doesn't have to do that. We're going to miss him. We're going to miss his policies, his ideology, what he did. He was a giant, but remember, someone will stand in that gap. I've heard that said many times, and it's true. I think you're going to see someone move into there. It'll take some time, but I don't think they silenced us. They didn't silence his movement. They didn't do anything but show how deranged, delusional, evil, and sadistic they are. Plain and simple. Don't give up. I know it looks horrible sometimes. Rush always said that. I don't know if anyone listened to Rush here, but I did every day. He goes, "I'll let you know when it's time to panic." And I think we're close. I mean, there's things going on. This is a huge turning point in where we're at. It truly is, not just politically, but scripturally. Okay, that's my take on it. What do you think, Leon?
I agree, and I think that Charlie Kirk is hearing those words. Well done, good and faithful servant.
I think
I
he
think
is
that
too.
the left could not beat him, and so they took him out. I think Satan is want to do things exactly like that. You find a pivotal person like Charlie Kirk, and he was like, I am not a guy that sheds tears easily, but I had to pull over today
Yeah.
because you know, and they couldn't beat him in a debate. And I said this on my social media. They couldn't beat his energy. They could not beat his connection to the youth. I think that is a very key, critical part of this.
I do too.
They'll never beat his legacy. There'll never be another Charlie Kirk. They're absolutely not. But what I think will happen, and I'm saddened because I could have seen him a great VP,
Or
maybe a
president.
president, but I gotta believe that God has a plan,
He does.
and I do believe that, and I believe that through all the hurt and the pain, we're gonna get out on the other side, and we're gonna do what we always have done when evil does something this horrific. We stand up and we rise. I mean,
Absolutely.
this country is. You open a history book. One of the reasons why American history is so great is because it has points just like this.
It does. This isn't new, really.
Yep,
We've had assassinations of good men,
good
been
man.
in pivotal times, and we came out on the other side.
Yep, and we
This
always
isn't.
will.
We always
Because
will because I do believe God has blessed this nation. One of the only nations that's blessed. He's blessed probably. As long as we keep honoring that and believing in Him and trusting in Him. Remember, trust in Him. We're going to be okay.
fight when you need to, pray
Yep.
when pray when you need to, and just do not check out of the fight. Do
Right.
not check out of the fight.
Yep. Don't get complacent. Them basketball games that you think are so important aren't. Those football games you watch on television on Sunday, nothing. There's way more important things to be doing on Sunday.
See Eli back there? That's my focus. I'm
There you
building
go.
the next generation of patriots,
Yep.
and
That's
that's
where we
it.
got to be. So, with that, everybody, I know it was a different show for everybody. We had good numbers, although the Twitter numbers weren't showing up over there. I popped over on there, or X now. We had like 80 on there. So, that was really good to see. Thanks for everyone listening. We were bouncing up and down on Rumble. I didn't go check the website, but hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, Friday, I'll be on with Todd Mitchell in the morning. 7:15 Mountain, 8:15 Central. Please tune in. I'm going to have a great show there, and I promise you I'll have a happy ending chronicle for Friday. I had one for tonight, but it's going to work out for Friday morning too. Leon, why don't you tell them what you got going on Friday night?
Well, it may have changed a little bit. I
Okay.
wanted to talk a little bit about situational awareness. We're obviously going to talk about Charlie Kirk and any breaking news. I had it in. I was going to have a representative from my area, and I'm going to see if that's still a
Yeah.
go. But if not, that we're going to talk just like we're talking now. I'm a different type of dude,
It's
and I
okay.
do different types of things. So I also want to talk about like my bug out bag. I am planning on doing something with that in the future. So you guys stay tuned for that. I think a lot. I think everybody needs one of these in their truck or in their house. I really really do. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and unpack what's in
Absolutely. I do have my stuff. Of course, I got a lot of things. This is nothing behind me. It's for fun, but I'm telling you right now, be prepared
my
because
rifle. Just my gun. Yeah.
yeah, this is for fighting. This is for fun. Oh yeah. So I always, my little motto has always been this, and I used to even have this hanging on the wall, and it's failure to prepare is to prepare for failure. It's an old saying. It's been around forever, and it's the truth. Always prepare. Prepare for it. There's nothing wrong with it. And Well, you know, I do keep my powder dry, but that's because I got to reload it, Leon.
I walked that back quite a bit.
So, all right. All right. Well, I don't have anything. Well, we could go on for another hour or two, but I have a family too, so I'm gonna go see them and keep Charlie Kirk's family in your prayers. They're the ones that need it the most. Very young couple. They have two very young kids, and right now their hearts are breaking. Right now, they don't know what happened to their dad or why. You know, they didn't know he was a public figure. They didn't. They just knew him as dad, and that's the sad part about this. Evil people, because they didn't like what he said or what he believed, went ahead and killed him, not even giving a damn about who it was going to affect. That's evil.
Yep.
So,
Evil will hide your eyes from the imago Dei in your fellow man.
every
And
time.
that is the saddest. Again, what you said about the kids, like I can't even imagine.
I
But
can't hear.
you gotta keep that family in your prayers. And despite what the left says, prayers work. I've seen it.
I've felt it.
In my own life. I've seen it. So I'm just before we go off on another tangent. God bless.